Hey everyone. I'm just waiting to find out if you guys can see me and hear me. I know last week I had an issue. Don't know what the issue was. So just let me know if I am good. Okay. I can see myself, so hopefully you can all hear me. Perfect. Thanks, guys. How is everybody tonight? Thanks all for the 5x5s. So I put the link up if anybody wants to come and hop up. Um, up to you. Up to you if you want to show your face or not. You can have that too. I'm going to say hello. My brother Kevin. Hello, my friend Simply Tony. Mrs. Metal. Katrinka. What else we got? I know. So, Katrinka, absolutely. Prayers for you. I pray for you every night anyway, but I'll add some extra. And Kevin, of course, I'm always praying for you too. Actually, if everybody could add Katrinka and Kevin to their prayers. Yeah, I had some wicked storms going through, so I thought by 7:15 it would be okay, but they weren't quite done, so I pushed it off a little bit. You had some too, Katrinka? Some storms going through? Hey, my Renaissance grandma, Johnny Pratt, what's up? Dusty, how are you? I hope you had an amazing summer. I know you were having some fun over there. So I don't really have a topic tonight. I just kind of figured, not that I really have one any other time, and even if I do, I barely stick to it. So I've been kind of winging it. But so I tell my husband, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to do a live. I don't really have a subject. So this is my husband's bright idea. What's the matter? You haven't had a panic attack? You have to write that shit down. What do you mean? Sorry, I didn't mean to curse. I tell everybody not to curse, and I just did it. Um, he's like, you got to write that down. I'm like, I don't understand what that means. He's like, you need to write down your experiences, is what you're going through. I'm like, so you're telling me I'm forced to go out there and start having panic attacks just so I could talk about it on my channel? I'm like, that seems counterproductive. But he's a man, so. Miss Metal, I'm getting your notifications like 2 hours after you're done. I don't understand it. And I've been looking for you because I'm like, oh, Miss Metal should be on this morning and you're not coming up. And then 2 hours later, it was like, oh, Miss Metal was live 2 hours ago. So I don't understand what's going on with the notifications and why it's not letting me into your chat until after you're done. YouTube's playing games. So I know there's like 72 other people going live tonight. Everybody's doing pop-up lives tonight. Johnny, you got a channel? I did not know that. I will have to subscribe to you. Yes, we definitely have missed you guys. I choose to think it's Friday every day. Turn the room into a gaming pool. Oh, that is so cool. Oh, I'm jealous. I would love to have a pool table and a dartboard. Of course, I missed it. Hey, Irishman, how are you? I was actually going to get in contact with you this afternoon, and I don't know what happened. I swirled out somewhere or another. I do too. I used to play all the time. I actually used to be on a league. It was fun. So what's going on, everybody? How is everybody? How is All right, here's a question for you. Anybody who suffers from anxiety, I know not all of you do, but and you're just here because you're awesome. But those people who like suffer from anxiety, how has it been lately? Have you gotten any new tricks that you've learned? Anything that has been helping you? Has anything from this channel helped you? Hot, yeah. It was 90 degrees here today. We actually went out. We try to walk during our breaks at work when it's not too hot. And we went out. We went out for the morning walk at I don't know 10:30. I was like, it should be out yet. It was so hot. I was like, this is ridiculous. Uh-oh. About what? Well, if you're holding your tongue, you probably won't tell me. Did I miss it? Is it in the chat? I'm just trying to think to say. So, Miss Metal, you know you can always text me if something's going on. Text me, talk to me, call me if you got something going on. You can. I mean, even if we can't fix it, you can always vent. Venting is good therapy. Put a semi-frozen damp cloth on your neck on hot days. Yeah, I actually have cloths that hold that help with that. I don't even, I mean, we have them for if the power goes out, because I can't even handle non air conditioning anymore. I no longer can handle the heat. When we move, it's not going to be to a hot place unless I can stay inside always and have AC. I understand that completely. So I had a job interview on Friday. It was the one I was supposed to go to last week, but they had to reschedule it. So, and it's actually in my like my niche. I don't have the right word, but I actually was almost considering it, but I don't. I think if they offer it to me, I think I'm still going to turn them down. But anyway, so I go into this interview and I'm like, well, I'm really not looking for another job anyway. It's just more to like kind of go and figure it out, to figure out what it's about, what department it's in, and if it was like really good, I might consider it. But otherwise, I have a job that I really like, and I'm not really looking to move. So I'm like, no problem. I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be nervous because I'm not trying to get this job. Hey, Tara. Ah, no, remember, a queen is never late. Everyone else is simply early. So I figured, no problem. Not going to be nervous at all. As soon as I walked up there, talk about stupid people. This woman who was doing the like the scheduling and open and getting the door for people and such, because in my building it's a county building, so each floor you need a code to get into the door, and each code is different. Hey, little loan prepper. So I don't know where they find these people, but we have so many problems finding people just who want to work, and then on top of it, all of these people are passing probation they because they just don't have anybody else. Hey, Mayhem, nice to see you. Hey, Steph. So I I get an email. I send my resume and I say, I can be reached at this number, or on the email I give my personal email, because I don't like giving my work email, because once in a while, especially because it's with one of the big wigs, and I'm like, I don't want to use this email for personal stuff, especially in his office, just in case they're like, oh, you shouldn't have used your personal email and you get in trouble for it. I mean, the county email, and you get in trouble for it. So she sends it back to me on the county email, which I'm like, all right, whatever. And then says, if you work in the building already, call me, or if you don't, go down to the security and find out when it is. So I call 10 minutes before my interview. I'm like, hey, I work in the building. I have an interview in 10 minutes. She's like, okay. Like, okay, so it says to call you. Okay. All right. So I'm calling you. What floor are you on? Oh, we're on the 11th floor. Okay. So I can come up now? Sure. Can I get in? Are the doors locked? I already know the doors are locked. But she's like, yeah, you need a code. Can I have the code? Oh, you can just call when you get here. All right. So I have to bring my phone up with me to call when I get there. Yes. Okay. And the phone number is listed outside? Yes. Well, there's four phone numbers listed outside for four different departments. I'm like, this is so it started off right there. I was like, seriously? So after I went through all that, and then as soon as the woman came out, the nerves went through the roof. I'm like, I should not be nervous. But all of a sudden, I got that whole, I am like, sweating, and everything's starting to go a little wonky in my eyes. And I'm like, I don't understand why I'm nervous. So I had to sit there and I had to tell myself, I really don't want this job anyway. I have a job I like. And then I had to do my breathing exercises. Oh, Katrinka, are you still here? Well, I'm still looking for that video. You didn't do that video, and I didn't get a notification. Did you, for the that breathing thing? I don't remember what you called it. Systemic breathing, I think you called it. Because I would still love to see that. I don't know how it differs. I'm sure. I mean, I've heard of one where it's you breathe in, you hold it for a few seconds, and you breathe out. I don't know if that's the one you're doing it, and you kind of do it in like equal parts. Breathe in, hold it for the same amount of time. You breathe in and then breathe out for the same amount of time. Like, so it's, if it takes you 15 seconds to do the whole thing, five in, five hold, and then five release. I don't know if that's what it is though, because I don't know what that is called. I don't like holding my breath for any reason. Okay, I'm just afraid that it's not going to send me the notification and I'm going to miss it. Is it possibly similar to what I said? I know, but different things help different people. Me, I don't like to hold my breath. So so the one that I was just saying, I'm I don't even know if I said it 100% correctly, but I know it has something to do with holding your breath, and I just don't like it. So I've never really looked into it. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I would have watched it regardless, even if you said it was. Hey, Teresa. What did I just say? I think I just saw. Oh, Hunter. I clicked on Teresa and Hunter came up. How you doing, Hunter? Hey, PJ, how are you? With the holding the breath? Yeah, I feel like you shouldn't be, unless you're underwater or something, you shouldn't be holding your breath for any reason. If I missed anybody, totally, not on purpose. So anyway, that was my story of my panic attack this week. Not as bad, definitely. And Blackbird, the first thing I said was, wow, I didn't think I was nervous, but now that I'm here, I'm definitely nervous. And they laughed. I told a bunch of stupid jokes and told them if telling jokes was a deal breaker, they should just tell me to go now. But I know them kind of sort of from the building. They know my boss very well. And they know how he is. So, because me and my boss talking dad jokes all day long, people throw things at me and us. Hey, Happy Mac. What is it? Crawling back into the bushes. I hope that's a good thing. So, as I said, if anybody wants to come up, the link I pinned it at the top. If you want to come up and chat, talk about any kind of issues, just say hello. How has everybody been doing? Has anybody tried any of the tricks that anybody has given them, whether it be me or somebody in the chat, that has helped them? That was funny. Well, it depends on what was the bush saying. So talk to me, guys. I don't have much of a topic today. Wow, that's kind of a nasty bush. Very rude. Yeah, like I am. You could come up and just not show your face. That's cute. Now, see, that was a joke I would have made. I didn't think of it though. I've noticed that there's a major issue with kids and anxiety these days, and I mean, I attribute it to these like social media and the phones because they're using it to get out of any kind of actual interaction, like people with oh, what am I trying to say? It's stopping all like face to face interaction. Everybody's got their head in their phones. They don't want to talk to anybody anymore. They would rather sit next to somebody and text that person next to them than actually have a conversation with them. Kids can't get on and make a phone call these days. I mean, it's becoming a really big issue. I don't know if that's the only reason that they all have it, but it's my own observation that that this is part of the fair enough. Yeah, I mean, it's really becoming an issue. How old is she, if you don't mind me asking? I sound like I sound like cornbread. I don't know if I know what that means, but it sounds funny. I blame the iPhone app. Had too much screen time, hard to make them go cold chunky. It really is, and this is the world we live in. So even if you take the phones away and say, hey, I'm limiting you, and it's just they figure out a way that they can do it anyway. And I don't think that because the other kids aren't. It's not like you take the phone away from your child and then the other kids are like, oh, well, you don't have a phone, let's go talk to you. No, it doesn't work like that. They're all like, I'm too busy in my phone to even notice that you're standing by yourself and don't have a phone in your hand. So this world has made it so convenient for the lack of interaction with people. And me, I think it's by design, but it's just terrible. I mean, kids, I grew up in the 80s and kids, didn't have anxiety. I had a friend growing up. I think I know I've said this before. I had a friend growing up when I was 16, 17. He was a really good friend of mine, but he said, I have panic attacks, and he had a hard time dealing with things. And I'm like, I don't understand. What's a panic attack? And he says, I get anxiety. I don't really like to leave my house sometimes. He goes, sometimes I can, but other times I just can't. And I'm like, I don't get it. What are you anxious about? And he could never explain it. But he was the only person who I'd ever heard who had any kind of issues back then. It was completely unheard of. He's always phone or gaming, and they really are. I even my kids who are not who are adults, but both of them, they don't like making phone calls at all. They would rather do everything over the computer, or even if they're ordering food, and it costs them extra money to order it through something than it is, it'll give you a fee to order it through an app versus, even if you're going to pick it up, it'll still charge an extra fee just to order it through the app. I'm like, so call up, save the $5. No. I'm like seriously? Like I just don't understand that. Okay, choose the phone. That's good. 12. Yeah. And this is the age. They didn't even. I missed something. I definitely missed a comment because let me see if I can find it. Hmm. I definitely missed something. Hey, Joy. His father and he is always on. Yeah. You know what? I tried that once or twice. It just gave me a headache. Yeah, they really are. They're little computers in your hands. Thanks, Kevin, for putting up everybody's links. Hey, Prepper Book Club, how are you? Sometimes you can't explain it. Explain what? Well, I missed it. You know what? I bounce all over the place, and I don't know if you're talking to somebody else or answering something that I said. Handy. Oh, that's an odd name. I'm kind of really glad they don't call them that here. Looking back there, I can see some of that one again. I don't think we can blame it all. No, definitely not. Honestly, I blame the food, a lot of the food. I think I think all of the preservatives and the food dyes and all that stuff, all this processed stuff, has given uh, kids anxiety along with like the ADHD. And I mean, again, if you look back for the people who are a little bit older, and you look back, you ADHD wasn't a thing. There wasn't such a thing as medicating kids because they were too hyper. The teacher said, sit your ass down or you're going to, get sent to the principal's office. And back then that actually meant something. If they said they were going to call your parents, that meant something. These days, the parents come down and go, oh, we're going to sue you for, threatening my child to send him to the principal's office. So, I mean, I'm totally squirreled out there. So, but the ADHD, and I think the food is causing a lot of this. We had, and you know what? I think I learned this again because my brother actually was very hyper when he was young, and they put him on a special diet, and that's what cured him. He was, a completely different person, and it was basically taking him off of preservatives and food dyes. So back then, you just kind of ate natural foods instead of processed stuff, and that's what fixed it. So much better than all of this medication, at least in my opinion. Not to say that every kid can be cured with that, but I just think it's so prominent because of the food. There is more and more about this situation becoming public. Which situation? What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing a whole story here going on, and I don't want somebody to think like I'm ignoring it because I honestly, I'm swirling out.
Sir.
Hindsight first. When I went to middle school, it was almost uncontrollably real. Again, this is just my opinion. So, guys, remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I have no medical training, mental training whatsoever. This is strictly my experiences, things I've learned over the years. I've been through massive amounts of therapy, and I ask a lot of questions. So please take everything I say with a grain of salt. Know that it's strictly just an opinion based on my own experiences. But yeah, so anxiety, when it comes from something, to me is just situational anxiety. It's not like an anxiety disorder. There's a reason you have anxiety. I mean, moving is super stressed. Starting a new school, super stressful. So I mean, did you get out of that, or did it continue after that? Because anxiety can actually cause anxiety if you feed into it, which is basically what I did. But people who have panic attacks just because it's a situational thing usually don't continue to have them. It's once that situation resolves themselves, they can usually just go on with their lives. Hey, Daryl. You know, you're blowing my cover every time you say that, right? Everyone just that's a great song. I didn't know there was a video to it though. I love their version of it. Oh no. All right, prayers for Dee. I hope she's okay. Kevin is awesome. Kevin and Dee are if it wasn't for them, this channel wouldn't exist. It's still in debate on whether that was a good thing or a bad thing though. Computers in your hands. I edited all my video. Yep. You can, I mean, you can do everything from your cell phone these days. You don't have to go to the bank. You don't have to go out for food. You can literally do anything on your cell phone these days. You don't have to get off your couch. And it's just, we're becoming a society of lazy people. I'm not calling you, any of you guys, lazy. Don't think that. I think we are stay off your iPhone. Meanwhile, we are. Correct. 100% correct. I get so mad at parents who drive on and text when they, especially when they have kids in the car. Texting and driving is a big pet peeve of mine, and especially you get in the car with your kids and you start texting. You're telling them that that's okay, but just being on the phone, yeah, you're right, and I'm guilty of it too. Not the texting and driving, but I am always on my phone. I get addicted to these stupid games and I play them every time I. Hey, Steel and Tree, how are you? Yeah, it's. A lot to. Yeah, that's it's a big thing. Oh, so anyway, that's how I even recognized it back in the day. Because when my brother was on this diet, I think he was in like first grade or kindergarten, and I'm only like 2 years older than him. So I was young when I realized, and I saw the big change in him. Like he was like literally night and day when he came off of the preservatives and the red food dye. So I think that's kind of what put it in my brain when I was very young, and I've always kind of sort this stuff out. I always ask a lot of questions. But yeah, we have. Hey, CUC farmer. I hope your vacation was awesome. Yeah, I've been trying to make most of my own stuff. Everything I can possibly make, I've been doing it, and the stuff that I haven't, I've been learning to. I'm still trying to grow food. It just hasn't worked yet. The tomatoes, they were doing good for a while, and then they just kind of died. One storm kind of took them all out, and that was the end of my tomatoes. They were cherry tomatoes, though, in my defense, and I'm really not a cherry tomato person. I didn't realize that when I bought them. I thought they were just regular tomatoes. So I wasn't really sad that they left. They really are. I none of the and so many of these preservatives and these food dyes and all this stuff, they're not food safe. They're just, well, in small amounts, they're not going to hurt you, is what they say. That doesn't make me feel any better. So at one point, I was trying to eat organic stuff. I'm like, that's even that. I'm like, it's still processed. I Most of the stuff I buy now has 1 to 2 ingredients listed on there. Flour, salt. That's it. Those are the things I'm buying. Everything I'm trying to make by myself. No, it depends. Some people it helps, other people it causes panic attacks. I've heard both ways. Me, I don't like it. They cause panic attacks for me, but I have definitely heard people say that it helps. So it definitely is not for everybody. Other food dyes, it comes from a bug in Mexico. Nice. So they've always been putting bugs in our foods. We just didn't know it. I've been going to work after medication after getting rear-ended by a vehicle. Oh my God. Oh, that's horrible. I hope everything is okay. I mean, yeah, it's after a car accident, it's really hard to get back into a car. I've been there, done that. It's horrible. But I hope everything is okay, and I hope you're back in. I'm not sure what I said that was wise. I don't say much that's wise. So what's a good thing? Yeah, I feel like I'm missing a whole side conversation. I'm with you, Joy. I've been there, done that. My depression came from my anxiety, although they never tell you that. They always just say you're diagnosed with depression. I was depressed because I was afraid to leave my house. Agoraphobia is not fun. I was that way for oh God, like 2 years. It was so hard for me to leave that house. When I did, it was torture. So I can understand. And I always tell everybody I am always available by email. If you want to talk, if you need to talk, please email me. I am always available. I'm not when I'm not talking to a computer without people talking back to me, I'm not a bumbling idiot. I swear. It's only when I'm doing this because I'm not good at it. And no, I'm not looking for compliments. I know how I sound, which is why I won't re-listen to me. But seriously, have you tried anything for your agoraphobia? Are you doing anything to try and relieve it or get past it? Awesome. Hoarding instinct comes from a drive to store up for the winter. Yeah. See, I was born like this. So to me, it is a natural instinct. It didn't come out of like uh, what do you call it, the 2000 thing or the virus thing or anything like that. Mine strictly, I've been like this since the day I was born. So I mean, that definitely checks with me anyway. I hate having to apply online for a job. Yes. Oh, what happened to the days where you could walk in and say, "Hey, can I fill out an application?" They're like, "No, do it online." I agree with you. Yeah. I don't know what made me think of this, but we teach our kids to disregard their instincts. We teach them as young kids, and I know I don't I don't remember who said it, but they were saying, like when you have kids and you have family over or whatever, and the kid is shying away from, like, say, an uncle or somebody that they really don't know, or even if they do know them, and you go to say goodbye, and you're like, hey, you go say goodbye to your uncle or your aunt or whatever, and the kid's like, they don't want to do it, and you're like, no, 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 go over, don't be rude, you're being rude, that's your family, go give them a kiss goodbye, whatever. And that's right there, we are teaching kids to not go with their own instincts. I was like, that's interesting. I can't remember where I heard that though. Going 25, so when I got hit by. Oh, that's horrible. I'm so sorry, CUCV. Yeah, that would definitely cause some anxiety. I guess still wore off from the flea market this weekend. Oh, I hope you did well. But with 24 shopping, most people don't stock up and they have to feed that instinct, so they do it by shopping for trivial things. Oh, interesting theory. I mean, it definitely fits. Got a custom grass. Okay, have a good night, Daryl. Yeah, I don't do the organic stuff anymore. And it's funny because things like soap, shampoo, anything that's not food, they can call organic and it's not regulated by anything. Not that I really trust anything that's getting regulated, but it's literally regulated by nothing. I'm like, well, there you go. Hey, Anthony, how are you? Hey, James. Hey, J3G. S. I didn't get hurt. Are you kidding? I'm so sorry. Did they catch him? I hope so. Yeah, that was horrible. I saw that video. That sucked. Yes, 1.5 years for me last time. I was put on Paxil years before. God gave me the strength to shake it off. I warmed up and drove to get Daryl. And now we DoorDash. Oh, that's awesome. I know you guys DoorDash. I see you in I think it's L's channel. You guys are always dashing. It's not womaning up though, that you need to do. It's like that came out totally wrong. It's not something that a lot of people can shake off. So it's not like, hey, woman up and just do it. So it's awesome that you could do that, but some people can't do that. And I tell people to try and take very small baby steps. You know, do what you can do. If you can't go, if you can't get out of your house, just go in your backyard. Once you feel comfortable in your backyard, go down the street. Once you can go down the street, try a little bit further. Do everything in small steps, get comfortable with things, and then move forward. Sometimes, I mean, some people, you just got to be like, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to take a trip. And that helps them completely. Other people can't do that. I have a really bad fear of traveling by myself. So, there's times some of the meetups, they're like, oh, just drive by yourself. I can't do that. I can't get in a car and go. I would also have to go through New York City and drive through New York City. And I think that's part of the problem. If I did not have to go through there, I might actually, be a little bit more open to something like that. But there's no way I could drive through there. I would get lost, first of all. And that is a huge fear of mine. Not a great area to get lost in some of those places. Cold bugs natural. Yeah. Yeah. Natural bugs. No, thank you. Has to do a paper application at Walmart. Wow. Yeah, I can't even believe. Hey, Virginia Bushcrafter. How are you? What mentions how what's after my hysterectomy? Oh wow. I've heard that can actually happen. That part I actually don't have any experience with, but I actually have heard that can happen. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. I don't even want to know. It's not cutting. Oh, I'm sorry. Bug is used in food, paint, anything else needs that red food diet. They've done studies on it in ADHD children. I sent the link. I put my son through a therapy that because he had very bad ADHD, but to the point where they wanted to put him in a special class because he just was so all over the place, and I hated the fact that he was on medication, and I weighed the whole medication versus putting him in a special class. So he was on medication for a little while, and I didn't want him on it. So I had a chiropractor at the time who was also like a neurologist, and he had started this thing called Brain Balance. And it was not invasive. It didn't involve any drugs. Did involve diet. And they said that was really important. And they did like things like putting him on a balance beam. They did light sensor things. So they would like flashlights at different speeds. I don't even know how they did it. It was quite some time ago. It was like 15 years ago. And they did, different things to stimulate different parts of the brain. And when they first tested him, they just looked at him and they said, he's got characteristics of like somebody with oh, I can't remember the names. Um, I'm blanking on the names, but he had like a head tilt. He always walked around with a head tilt, and he didn't recognize facial recognitions on people. Like I would get like so angry, and he completely couldn't even see it. So when I put him through this, and they said that red food dye was like the biggest contributor to this, so that they gave you a diet to follow, take it all off. And they said just one Dorito would throw the whole thing off. You had to be off everything for 3 days so it would get out of your system. And then they said, just one would put you back, on it again. So you after he came out of it, it was hard because he was already 14 years old. So he would go to school and he would eat things that he wasn't supposed to. So it didn't 100% work because I couldn't get him to stick with the diet. But the rest of it helped so much. He stopped with the head tilt. He then recognized facial expressions again. He actually started making a lot more friends at school because he could now connect with people. He got it. So it was a really good thing that happened with him. But insurance, of course, wouldn't cover it because it's like a holistic idea, to for they because it got him off the medication. He wasn't completely like sit down and be quiet and do your work, but they stopped threatening to put him in special classes. So that was what I wanted more than anything, was just for them to stop threatening me with those. And that's what they now use is worse. Yeah, I really don't trust most of the food these days that they're putting out. Yeah, I hope so. I'll pray for you. Yeah. I'm not an aggressive driver. I'm a fast driver, but I'm not aggressive. And you have to be aggressive in New York City, otherwise, you're getting nowhere. Most of what they sell is so. Yeah, I started making all of my own stuff. Truth, Kev. Good night, Hunter. Hi, thanks for coming in. I have some fear trying to work on it. Can we work together on this? Of course. You know, I'm always available by email. I think I sent you my phone number. Hey, Canadian, how are you? I drove a big, yeah. Hey, Devil Dog. Nice to see you. Or should I say the one, the only Devil Dog Berber? To give her ounce of courage I can muster up in several weeks of mental preparation. I drove. Wow, that is awesome. Good for you. How'd you feel after you did it? Nice. Aw, I'm so happy you're here too. Hey, KP. All right. I am at the bottom of the chat. So if any of you guys have anything else to talk about, or anybody wants to come up, it's always still that option. Otherwise, I'm going to end it. Hopefully, I didn't miss anything. If I did, not on purpose, the chat likes to jump. It's probably actually me, but I don't know what I do. I'm not really a tech savvy person. All right. So I'm going to end it here then. Have you tried decaf? Sometimes if I'm drinking too much coffee, no such thing, right? Um, if I have too much caffeine, I definitely will switch to decaf. I just find what is it? I think it's like the Dunkin' Donuts brand or the Donut Shop coffee for decaf. No, I'm lying. It's the McCafe, the Dunkin' the Oh, really? Okay, well that's the end of that one. Um, let me think. I don't know if I have any suggestions for that one. No, if I think of something, I feel like there's something that I'm missing that I want to say, hey, try this, but I'm not thinking of it at the moment. That's great. All right, if I think of it, Joy, I will definitely let you know because I feel like there is definitely a solution to that I've done when I've gotten too jittery with it. The only thing I can maybe tell you that I'm thinking of right now is eat some bread beforehand to soak up some of it so it doesn't sit in an empty stomach. Like, don't do it on an empty stomach. But there was another trick I used to have. Yeah, I'm going to send her a I'm going to send her a message right after we get off, Kev. I'll find your email. I will. You know what? Comment after this, and I will put it under there. Because I don't have it out. I actually have one. It's like coffee first, then speak at Gmail, but I don't think I've ever checked it. And I was going to put that down there, but I'll just give you my personal one that I use for everything else because that one I check all the time. So yeah, just comment under and I will leave it underneath. And then after you get it, I'll probably delete the comment. Just because I don't mind giving it out, but I don't want anybody just walking in and grabbing it. Not that it's a big deal, it's just an email, but I hate getting spammed. I make mine a little weaker now. That's not a bad idea. Just add a little extra water to it. But definitely don't have it on an empty stomach. It might help you. All right, guys. I will. I'm going to end it here, and you'll have a wonderful night. Thank you all for coming in.